Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a zodiac reading for the sign of Leo, and this is specifically a twin flame reading. And Mr. Crow is saying hello already. So this won't resonate with every Leo out there. So if it's not resonating and you feel called, you can check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. That crow is very loud. So yeah, today we're going to be looking at your energy, your counterpart's energy, and then the potential outcome in the future. And if you are cross-watching, like if you are connected to a Leo, you may find that you're resonating with the viewers pile, but take whatever pile here resonates and let's get into it. So we're going to start with your cards, Leo. And I actually pulled these cards yesterday, but then I felt called to wait to do the reading for whatever reason. So I kind of forget what cards I pulled. So for your energy, we have the Sun, and we do have Earth here. So Earth placements could also be symbolic, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And the Sun does show that you could be going through a glow up right now. And I often say, like, sometimes when we're going through a glow up, we don't even realize we're going through a glow up. So you could have people telling you that you look really good or there's something about you. Maybe you recently got a haircut or something. The Sun also talks about focusing on things that make you happy and things that make you feel fulfilled. So you could be focusing on some of those things right now instead of focusing on this connection. You could also be doing healing with the Sun. It's also divine masculine energy. So you could be working on your stability. You could be working on your emperor energy or divine masculine energy, which is knowing your worth, knowing that you're more than enough, releasing fixer patterns, I'm hearing. So I'm just going to put this here so we can see Leo. Oh, and the Sun is Leo energy. Interesting. Those crows are going nuts outside right now. And crows are symbolic for transformation and change. So for some of you, you could be going through change and transformation. You could also be shining right now because, or spreading your light. Maybe you're very intuitive. Maybe you're a light worker. But let's keep going. We have walking away, letting go for now. So it feels like for now you're taking your attention off of this connection and you're pouring all that energy into yourself. We have cherish, appreciate the small things. And I know it has two people on this card, but clearly you are focused on yourself right now, walking away, letting go for now. And this kind of falls in line with the Sun card. So you're trying to appreciate the small things in your life. You could be practicing gratitude right now or just trying to focus on the things that fulfill you. So appreciating the good things in your life rather than thinking about, what you don't have or what's not happening in this connection. You could also be appreciating the journey, because I often say this journey is, I know that a lot of people romanticize the journey and think that, the point of the journey is to come into union with your counterpart, but it's actually for you to heal and grow and transform and go through your glow up and, embody that divine feminine energy. So you could be someone who's appreciating what this connection taught you. You could be appreciating the lessons and the healing that you've gone through because of this connection, rather than sitting in resentment and saying, why did this happen to me? We have right person, wrong time. So it feels, and this is a card for you, so you're seeing this like letting go, walking away for now. You feel like this is your person, but you could be coming to terms with the fact that whatever energy they're in right now is not aligned with the energy that you're in. And you're seeing them as the right person, but the timing is wrong right now for whatever reason. And we have cycles. So you could have been stuck in cycles or patterns with this person, or you could have been stuck in a cycle where you were, typically the feminine chases or becomes codependently attached and the masculine runs. So you could have been stuck in a cycle where you were repeating patterns with this person. And it feels like, right now you're getting off the ride, you're getting off the merry-go-round. And you could also be healing specific cycles and patterns that you embody. Again, this journey is meant to be about you healing and breaking patterns and cycles and breaking, I'm hearing like, um, oh, generational trauma. You could be a cycle breaker for your family's line. So whether it's you getting off, it could be both. You could be getting off the merry-go-round, getting off the pattern of repeat with this person and focusing on yourself. And you could also be focusing on generational trauma or patterns that, maybe you've realized have played out in your family. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, for example, I'll just use an example. So maybe your counterpart was, showing up in lower vibrational ways. Maybe they weren't seeing your worth. Maybe you were putting up with less than you deserved. And maybe that's a pattern in your family. Like maybe you, again, this is just an example. This doesn't have to be your pattern. But it was just the example that came to mind. Maybe you grew up watching your parent repeat a pattern, whether it was with, you know, the other parent that they were married to, like maybe it was your mom and your dad, or maybe you grew up with a single parent who kind of kept attracting in the same type of partner who didn't see their worth and didn't value them, and they were accepting less than they deserved. Like this could have been a pattern that played out in your family. And you could be looking at your parent right now thinking, I'm not going to keep repeating that. Like, I know what I deserve. It's just an example. It doesn't have to be your specific pattern, but that was the example that Spirit gave me. So that's the one I used. So however that's resonating to you. We have Sparkle, Glow Up, Empress Era, Radiant. So clearly you are shining your light, or you're shining very brightly right now. And maybe I just heard, if you don't like, for some reason when I looked at this, I immediately heard, if you don't like my light, put on sunglasses. So you could be in an energy where you're no longer dimming your light or playing small or lowering your energy or vibration for anyone. But yeah, definitely glow up energy with the combination of the sun and the sparkle card. And Empress Era, so you could be working on balancing, because you have the sun, which is masculine energy, so you could be really working on balancing your feminine and masculine energies right now. And Divine Masculine, again, they know that they are more than enough. They're confident. They're working on their stability, taking action towards things, not this connection, but taking action towards things. No, your mission comes to mind. So in order to take action towards your mission, you kind of need that divine masculine emperor energy, but also your divine feminine energy. You could be working on that. So trusting your intuition, tending to your inner garden. I do not chase, I attract. Knowing your worth is what I keep hearing. Dogs barking, crows crowing. And then we have the root chakra. So with the root chakra, you could be focused on, I should have said it, I was hearing it when I was looking at the sun card, but for some reason I was seeing weights. So you could be working on your physical health with the root chakra. You could be working on grounding yourself, physical health, so weightlifting, working out, walking more. But it also says safety, stability, and home. So you are working on your stability, working on grounding yourself. All right. So let's look at your person's energy. Your person's energy was interesting. Yeah. So they have the cross, which is a club here. So that's fire energy. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And we see this little lamb, and the lamb can represent, this is an interesting image because your person could be, maybe they're religious or they're awakening to God or something. But the lamb often represents someone who's kind of in Four of Swords energy. So this person could be resting or gaining a lot of clarity about something. We also have a cup in the middle of this cross. So there's something about this person tapping into their emotions right now. And this cross is actually, I wouldn't have thought it, but this cross is actually a negative card. And it shows that your person is going through trials right now, specifically in regards to patterns that they repeat. And something could be connected to their emotions here. Like maybe this person has a pattern of being emotionally unavailable or not listening to their intuition or letting their logical brain rule over their heart, is what I was hearing. My kids are playing downstairs if you hear them. So life lessons and trials. It also talks about painful transitions. So your person is going through some sort of painful transition, and it could be linked to this connection. And also, like I said, life lessons and trials. And it says the passage of life's lessons and the harsh exam of endurance and fortitude. And obligations and responsibilities. So maybe this person is, whoa. So my solar plexus just went crazy. And one thing I was hearing is this person may be lacking the confidence or feeling timid about reaching out to you right now. One thing I want to mention is I kept seeing the Rider card, which is about movement and messages. And on the bottom of the deck for them, I took note of it. Their communication was on the bottom of the deck for the Lenormand deck. So it could be that this person is feeling timid about communicating with you right now because it feels like this person is going through a lot of trials and tribulations. One thing that I talk about is when you know you've wronged someone and you need to take accountability or you need to change something, often what can happen is the longer that you don't take accountability and the longer you kind of put it on the back burner, the more trials Spirit will put on you, the more wands will be put on your back. This is giving me 10 of Wands energy. So your person is about to hit a breaking point, and it feels like Spirit, the universe, whatever you resonate with, keeps putting burden after burden after burden, trying to get this person to break and crack open and awaken. And the way this cup is in the center of the cross, I feel like they are protecting their heart space right now, or they're emotionally closed off. Hard times, heavy duties, a thorny path, problems that have to be humbly overcome, a heavy burden that cannot be shrugged off, life lessons, blows of fate, mental suffering, feelings of guilt. So clearly something is weighing heavily on this person's mind. It also talks about obstacles to advancement. So, and it's interesting because this lamb was giving me kind of four, or whatever it is, was giving me Four of Swords energy. And the way that this flagpole is across this person, it feels like they do need to advance and grow and go through these trials before they can come towards you. They could even be questioning their religion or their beliefs right now, but very heavy energy for them, especially if they're, you know, watching you or looking at you and you look like you're shining and you're glowing. So let's keep going. It says falling for you, but it says consumed by thoughts of us. So right now, this person is consumed by thoughts of you. You're weighing very heavily on their mind, very heavily on their heart. Again, they're feeling very heavy right now. I almost feel like rereading that cross card, but I won't. But if you didn't hear it, it does talk about going through hard times. And heartbreak, I'm hurting. And there's that, look, there's a cup here and the hand is covering it. Just like I was saying with the cup in that cross, like this person could be emotionally unavailable right now, or that's how they were showing up in this connection, and maybe you were showing up very emotionally available. It's also interesting, this image is kind of giving me Queen of Cups energy. So they could be hurting because you have gotten off the merry-go-round, and you could be protecting your energy from them. You could be focused on self-love, protecting your cup. And now the roles have kind of reversed. Now they're hurting, but your person is definitely going through a painful period right now. And that's essential for growth and advancement, like the cross said. We have twin flames, masculine, feminine. So it feels like this person could be awakening to the reality of this connection, that they feel a bond with you that they've never felt before. They could also be working on balancing or being called to balance their feminine and masculine energies. And the fact that I feel like this person is feeling blocked from reaching out to you energetically, spiritually, that shows they're not in divine masculine energy, because a divine masculine, you know, they come in wanting to conquer. They come in very confident. Again, not talking about gender. They come in very confident, wanting to shoot their shot. And it feels like your person is not in that energy yet. And like I said, they could have been listening more to their logical mind than their heart space. And divine feminine energy listens to their heart and their intuition. You could have also been dealing with someone who was in distorted masculine and feminine energies. So you could have been dealing with someone who, you know, wanted to have arguments, or maybe there was a lack of reciprocity or balance within this connection. You could have been dealing with someone who, like maybe there was the fact that you have the cycle card with the merry-go-round. One thing that distorted feminine energy talks about is the pointless need to go around in circles and have the same argument. So that could be something here. But I also feel like they're waking up to the reality of this connection and their feelings for you. And they could have been denying these feelings in the past. This could also be someone with the twin flame card. They could have stumbled upon some sort of information about soulmates or twin flames and are resonating with that energy when it comes to you. Yeah, we have the wounded masculine here. So your person is in wounded masculine energy. And like I said, wounded masculine energy is lack of confidence. It's not, they don't know their worth. They're feeling not confident about coming towards you. Wounded masculine energy is also the energy of someone who feels like they, you know, have to get all their work done before they can do anything else. They could be overworking themselves right now. It's also the energy of there can only be one winner. There can only be, like, maybe this person was in the energy of they wanted to be right. So maybe there was like arguments that went around in circles. Very interesting. So they're still in a bit of wounded masculine energy here. And if you know about twin flames, the fact that you are in the sun energy, which is masculine energy, you're essentially helping this person energetically, because if you are working to, you know, if you're working on your root chakra and you're working on your masculine energy, knowing your worth, it's going to energetically help this person. Divine masculines or masculines, when they wake up, they start at the root. And that's what this person needs to do. They need to work on their root chakra, their confidence. They need to ground themselves. They need to work on their stability. And right now it feels like something is out of whack in their energy or their world. Like things are falling apart. There's a lot of, it talked about it like there's a lot of responsibility. All right. We have synchronicities 20/2, 22/2, 24. So I feel like this person could, there goes my solar plexus again. Oh my gosh. It feels like this person is being bombarded with signs and synchronicities about you, perhaps specifically twos. That could also be a significant date for your connection, like maybe your birthday or your birth month, or their birthday or birth month, or when you met or when you separated. There's something about twos here. And twos are about, could be about being at a crossroads. So they could be being shown a lot of twos because they're at some sort of crossroads. Angel numbers, names, and music. So right now this person is being bombarded with your name. They're being bombarded with music that makes them think of you. Even if you don't have memories connected to that song, I feel like this person is hearing songs about, like just songs where certain lines and lyrics are really standing out to them. And actually, when I was standing up to see if the camera was straight, I was hearing the song Good For You by Olivia Rodriguez. Is that her name? And I was almost hearing it from their perspective. So they're looking at you as, I'm not saying you moved on really easily. I'm not saying that within a couple of weeks you had someone else. Like, I'm not being that specific about the lyrics, but the meaning behind the song, what the lines of, you look like you're happy and you're healthy and you're doing great. Well, good for you. What about me? So your person could be in kind of this wounded energy where they could even be feeling envious of you, or envious of the fact, or jealous or jaded that you are looking so good and you seem so unbothered. And I think that you probably were bothered. I think that it probably did hurt you, but you're also going through a glow up. And some people from the outside looking in don't understand that even though you're going through a glow up, you still have emotions, you still have feelings, you still have hard times, right? It just feels like this person, that song is playing again. Anyway, that song could be symbolic. Like maybe that was a song that you resonated with when it came to this connection. I'm just hearing you look happy and healthy. And we have the heart chakra, love, acceptance, compassion. So there's definitely about this something about this person's heart opening or needing to open through these trials and tribulations. Because, like I said, the cup on the cross card, this cup covered up. And then on that image, the cups aren't covered up. And it says consumed by thoughts of you. So you could have been dealing with someone who is trying not to think about you for the longest time. Now I'm hearing a different song. What song is that? Do you think of me? I can't think of who sings that. I just heard, do you think of me? All right. Anyway, it's all leading to this heart opening. But yeah, they're still in a little bit of wounded energy, which could be why there's still separation here. If they come in wounded, you'll repeat a pattern or a cycle. And I feel like you're trying not to repeat that. You're seeing that right now this person isn't ready. Right person, wrong time. The timing is not right. So you had 2 cards come out for your outcome, which was really interesting to me because, like I said, I'll just show them to you right away. The Rider card kept wanting to show itself when I was shuffling the Lenormand deck. And like I said, on the bottom of theirs, there was communication. So we do have the Tree, and we have the Rider, both heart energy, so water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And you can see somebody coming in with a message here. So I do feel like there's incoming communication when you are both grounded. And right now you're working on grounding yourself with that root chakra. Your person needs to work on that, is what I'm hearing. There's also a lot of mirroring in this image, and you can see, you know, there's 2 acorns here, 2 acorns here. There's a masculine deer here, a masculine deer there, or a stag. I think that's what they're called. So it feels like you both need to grow and evolve before this communication comes. But this Tree card does talk about putting down roots, something stable coming in. So communication arrives, this person moves towards you and is coming in more stable energy, is what I'm hearing. I just want to look at those cards quickly. That's also number 1, which is the energy of the Magician. So communication, Virgo, Gemini energy, and then underneath the Tree is number 5, which is Hierophant energy. So I almost feel like this connection could evolve to the next level. So let's say you were involved with this person and it never evolved to being exclusive, or I don't know why I'm hearing going steady. That could be symbolic for the age you are, because they don't call it that anymore. I was hearing going steady. So if you never had a label on this, elevating it to the next level could be putting a label on it, like we are partners, or we're boyfriend and girlfriend, or girlfriend or whatever. Or if you were together dating, elevating it to the next level could be commitment with that Hierophant energy. So number 1, it's so interesting because when I hit your sign, I felt like Spirit was blocking me from doing this reading for like 5 days. It was crazy. And now it's making sense now that I'm channeling this person's energy. Even yesterday, I pulled all the cards and then I was like picking up on your person's energy and I felt really overwhelmed. Thank you, Mr. Crow. And I was like, I'm not ready to do this reading. And I can't remember, I think it was sometime last week that I stopped doing zodiac readings and I went to do yours, and I felt blocked. So I feel like that has to do with your person coming towards you, if I'm being honest. I feel like something's blocking them from coming towards you because they need to go through these trials in order to advance towards you. Anyway, so the beginning of a process, so the beginning of commitment, or the beginning of this connection grounding with the Rider. It's important to take advantage of this energy. Pay attention to new information and seize the moment. The Rider brings changes and news. It's funny. Receiving messages, communication, the arrival of someone. The horse means transportation. So maybe this person lives at a distance from you. It's also on page 13, which is death and rebirth and transformation. So it feels like once this person goes through this transformation out of wounded masculine, stop it. My solar plexus every time. I go near that card, my solar plexus just goes roar. So to me, this can't come in until they go through their transformation. But communication that will lead to something stable, that will lead to change. And maybe in the past, they rushed in before that transformation and you repeated a cycle, for example. And like I said, number 5 is number 5 is connected to the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So growth, health, solid position, firm support, patience, achieving results, slow and phased development with the fruits of your effort coming to you in their own time, deep emotions. And how can this person come in and be emotionally vulnerable with you when they're emotionally closed off? Like their heart is starting to open here. This is also on page 17, the tree, which is linked to the star. So again, it feels like a certain amount of healing, emotional vulnerability, confidence, transformation, growth has to happen before this communication can come in. Everything is unfolding naturally and in the best way possible. So this is taking root and growing right now. You just can't see it. It's just like a little seed. It's like a little seed right now. You can't see it. But this is coming towards you, but it might not be to your ego's timing. Like you could be losing patience, and the tree is about you need to have patience because this is unfolding exactly as it should. This person, when they come towards you with communication, it'll be, I'm hearing it'll be more successful this time because the timing will be right. And I know that some of us, I just saw a black pickup truck. I know that some of us want to rush things, but if you rush it and this person comes in before they're ready, then it could just repeat a cycle, right? All right, so let's keep going. We have repairing, making amends. I completely forgot what cards came out. Making amends, so repairing this connection, perhaps an apology, making amends, for apologizing, forgiveness. And we have future dreams, envisioning forever. So it also feels like there's a conversation about the future and what you both want when it comes to where this connection is going, marriage, children, trips, fur babies. That's beautiful. We have the red thread bond. And what's interesting is, the red thread bond, what's meant for you will not pass you by. And one thing that I feel like before this happens, you could find some red threads. I talk about how that happens. And the length of the red thread can have to do with how much longer the separation will be. So if you start finding little short red threads, that's important. Or longer ones, very important. But this is also, when it comes to connections like these, the feminine leads the way. So even though you're not in contact, even though you could be on different sides of the planet, as you evolve and raise your vibration, you're actually pulling them by this red thread. You're pulling them up energetically. And that's kind of what I was getting with the masculine energy and the grounding here. But what is meant for you will not pass you by. So it feels like in the future, you both feel a very strong pull back towards each other, which is what happens with counterparts when they balance their energies and they heal. That magnetic attraction that first brought you together starts pulling the two of you back together. The thing is about counterparts is that, in the beginning, I don't know where my magnets are. In the beginning, there they are. You're so drawn towards each other. It's like a magnetic attraction, right? But then as you trigger each other, and start to repeat cycles, you actually repel each other. And usually the feminine doesn't energetically feel that repelling because they know that's my counterpart. This is what I want. So they start to chase, try to control the outcome, and it actually pushes the runner away. But as soon as you both balance your energies and you start focusing on yourself and you start transforming and they start transforming, that magnetic red thread bond pulls you back together. We have inner child healing. So that has something to do with it too. And I had that download about maybe you saw something in your childhood, a pattern that you learned from a parent. And maybe right now you're looking at those cycles, trying to break those cycles. And, you know, there's sayings out there or on social media, you'll see ideas of in a family, there's usually one person who's chosen, the chosen one, to heal and break all those generational traumas and heal the ancestral bloodlines and heal future generations to come so all those cycles stop. And, you know, there's jokes out there about like, why did it have to be me? But I feel like a lot of twin flames are that one that's supposed to, I'm hearing Belle, you're the one who has come to break the spell. And I know that we don't ask to be that one in our family. It's actually an honor. I'm hearing it's an honor. Like I take it as an honor because I know that for generations to come, there won't be those cycles and that trauma where they've been ingrained in my family for probably hundreds of years. So to me, it's an honor to be that one. Some people also call them the black sheep. So if you resonate with being the black sheep of your family, that's also an indication that you could be that cycle breaker. But I think, and I don't know this for sure, but I think what my guides are telling me right now is that a lot of twin flames are that black sheep or are that chosen one who is meant to awaken. So you both, this could be another thing that needs to happen before you can make amends and before you can be drawn back together is healing, like healing the inner child. Anyway, my dogs are going to go crazy for a minute. They'll calm down. And, you know, I feel like this also has to do with when the two of you come back together. If you've both been healing, it's almost like your inner children will feel more comfortable. Because that's another thing, when you're triggering each other, you're triggering each other's wounds, which includes your wounded inner child. So I almost feel the fact that we have two children here, the masculine has a little boy here, the feminine has a little girl, again, not about gender, but I have to mention it, is that when the two of you come back together, you're no longer triggering each other's inner child wounds. So your inner children actually feel safe together. We do have journal here and we have expression and another heart. So this gives me the energy of like a conversation, this person expressing how they feel, maybe even expressing what they've been reflecting on. You could even go on to write a book about this or about your own healing journey, or they could go on to write a book. But to me, this is about, you know, the coffee cup, meeting and conversing, getting to know each other again, opening up vulnerably with that heart on the cup. And we have new beginnings, little seed. New chapter, fresh start, taking the leap. And yesterday, I posted it this morning, but yesterday I actually took a picture of a dandelion that was seeding with the sun shining onto it, and I wrote up a post for it for today and like scheduled it to post, and the emoji that I used was this, and I did that yesterday morning, and then in the afternoon I pulled this card for you. So that little post may be significant to you as well. And we also see taking the leap. So this person taking the leap, coming in with communication, fresh start, new chapter. And you can't go back to the old chapter, right? Because right person, wrong time, it wasn't working. There were cycles, there were patterns. You can't go back. All you can do is move forward and have a new chapter together and get to know each other again. All right, so let's get some tarot. That's probably the longest part of the reading there. We do have the Fool taking a leap, Aries energy. So for tarot, I'm just going to get your energy, how you feel about them, how you feel about the twin flame journey. Same for them, and then just a few cards for the potential outcome. So we do have Page of Wands, which does talk about incoming messages. Page of Wands is also like the fact that we have the Fool and the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is like the mini Fool. So you could have had a false start with this person. Page of Wands, it could have felt like a new beginning, like the Fool, but then it fizzled out. And we have the Four of Wands in reverse. So lack of stability, lack of foundation. Let me look up the Four of Wands. We also have the Two of Swords, stalemate. So it feels like this is being blocked right now. I just want to look up the Four of Wands in reverse. We have the Magician. It's funny, all those cards I pulled are very much about this future potential. And remember, you can manifest anything you want. You're a powerful manifester. What was I looking up? Four of Wands in reverse. Instability, lack of roots, home conflict, fear of public commitment or fear of commitment, insecurity, transition, transitional period, the cross. So Four of Wands in reverse. That's a good indication that this person is not ready for union, even if mentally and in your heart you feel ready for union. This person, that Four of Wands in reverse is about them. There's instability in their life. And there's a transition happening in their life. 1983 or August 3rd could be symbolic. So look, we have the Magician making things manifest. What you want wants you. We also have rejection, male ego resisting connections. So it's clear to me, holy cow. So I'm hearing a few different things. I'm hearing that you could have tried to manifest this, but this person rejected you. Their heart was closed off. That's the Emperor in this deck, which could have weighed heavily on you. The other thing that I'm hearing, as I said for them, I was seeing the Ten of Wands and fear, right? Lack of confidence. They could be fearing that you'll reject them because you could look very magical right now, like you could manifest anything you want. The Magician is also about wanting to communicate. It's linked to communication. So I feel like this person does fear that you would reject them, and responsibilities, heavy responsibilities weighing on them. I almost feel like ever since they rejected you or resisted this connection, what did I say about the Ten of Wands? Spirit, whoops. Spirit just keeps putting wand after wand after wand on their back to awaken them, to break their back. Healing, to bring about healing. And you could have had to put this burden down. Like you could have been trying to manifest something, but they were resisting it. So you put the burdens down so that you could focus on your healing. Did you hear the little honk? So let's see your current energy. Show me Leo's current energy, please. Your cards fell on the floor. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Devil in reverse. Hang on. Okay, so this is interesting. We have Devil in reverse, which is about becoming very self-aware, perhaps about unhealthy patterns. The Devil in reverse talks about unhealthy patterns. And the Devil in reverse talks about becoming more self-aware of those patterns. It's about releasing toxic energy, releasing codependency. Very, very good. Very good. I like that for you, Capricorn energy. And then these were the ones that fell on the floor. So you have 2 sevens here. Seven of Swords in reverse talks about, you know, it's interesting because I was hearing, like, when I was talking about your person, I was talking about like manipulation or going around like wanting to argue. And the 7 of Swords is giving me the energy that you're done with the games. Like, you're becoming more self-aware. You know that you're done accepting less than you deserve, that you're done feeling like an option, that you're no longer like, this person could have gaslit you and confused you. And it feels like you are aware of that, or you're aware that you deserve more than to feel like an option. And that you're done with the games. For some of you, you could be thinking about your options with the 7 of Cups, because it says lots of options. And if you are going through a glow up, you could be attracting a lot of attention, or you could be thinking about, you could be thinking about exploring something new, or I'm even hearing online dating with the 7 of Cups. Interesting. It's like you're seeing through, you're gaining clarity on this. That's really good. All right, let's see how you're feeling about them. How are you feeling about them? 5 of Wands was, 5 of Wands in reverse was on the bottom. I didn't talk about it. I should have. So with this, 5 of Wands on the bottom does talk about overcoming obstacles and not wanting to argue. So like if this person liked arguing, I feel like you're done with that. So we do have 2 of Cups on the bottom for how you feel about this person. So it says strong connection. So clearly you feel like a soul connection with this person. Mutual attraction, reunion. And we do have hard to let go, resisting change in reverse. So you could have been resisting letting this person go. You could have been holding on to them. Like I always talk about, when you hold on to something, it kind of blocks the energy from coming in, but when you release it, it opens up the energy. So it feels like you're releasing resistance, or you're releasing control over this situation. You could be in detachment. You could be in detachment when it comes to this person. And I don't mean that you're done with them, but you could be in that energy of, what's meant for me will not pass me by. I just know that I'm not interested in going backwards, getting back on that merry-go-round, releasing those cycles, not being codependent. So you could be having an easier time letting go of them right now energetically and focusing on yourself. Also, resisting change. You could have been, I'll talk about your person in a minute, but you could have been resisting separation or resisting letting them go. And that's kind of what needs to energetically happen in order for them to awaken, is you kind of have to let them go, or stop resisting that change that needs to happen. Now, when it comes to how you feel about this person, you could also be dealing with someone who is very resistant to change. Specifically, I don't know what specifically, but I kept hearing giving you less than you deserve, which makes me think of the Eight of Cups, which can talk about, I'm also seeing death in reverse. So repeating negative emotional patterns, like withholding emotions. So for how you feel about this person, it does feel like you feel like they were resisting this connection, and they were resisting changing. This is how you feel about them. We also have, like I said, the Two of Cups. What's underneath that? The Page of Swords. So you could be learning more about this connection. You could be taking a course. They could be a student. The Page of Swords can also talk about someone who's very sly with their words or cunning with their words, almost to the point where you feel like you're being manipulated. The Hermit. So you feel about this person, you know, you're focusing on yourself right now. You're withdrawn, or you felt, I don't know if you felt the need to withdraw from this person or if they withdrew from you and now you're like, well, I'm going to go within and focus on myself. Virgo could be symbolic. You could feel like this person's very withdrawn from you and you're just going to let them withdraw. But I'm also seeing that you feel like this person has a lot of soul searching to do, and you could be realizing hermit energy can only happen when they're isolated. You know, the hermit is about being withdrawn and doing a lot of reflection and soul searching. And that can't happen when you're butting heads or when you're trying to make something work, right? It's an independent, withdrawn energy, the hermit. How are you feeling about the journey? How are you feeling about the journey? You could also be, oh, that's beautiful. You could also be resisting reaching out to them with the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords can talk about like wanting to talk to someone. The Two of Cups can talk about, you know, wanting to have a conversation. But with the Hermit and this letting go card, you could be releasing, like when that feeling comes up, like, oh, I'd like to talk to them, you could quickly go within and be like, no, right person, wrong time. They're not ready. I'm not gonna reach out to them. Divinely guided, trust the journey. So you are trusting that what's meant for you will not pass you by. You're trusting in your journey. You're focusing on yourself. Beautiful. We have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse for how you're feeling about this connection. So clearly it's not. And we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry, for how you're feeling about the journey and this connection. So external factors are getting in the way with the 10 of Pentacles, you know? And the fact that that's right over that right person, wrong time, it feels like you feel like this could be a long-lasting union, but that right now is not the right time. There's not a solid foundation. You could also be feeling like you need to work on your foundation. The 10 of Pentacles can also talk about outside opinions. So when it comes to this connection, the people around you could have a lot of opinions, which can also be frustrating when you hear from people in your life that don't understand the counterpart journey. Why don't you just move on? Why don't you just forget about that person? Why don't you just date somebody else? That person sucks. Like, you know, that can also be a blockage. So there could be outside opinions about this connection. Six of Pentacles, there was something unbalanced. So it definitely feels like you're in the mindset of if it's meant to be, it'll be. Right now, this person can't give you commitment or reciprocity. So you're trusting the journey that if it's meant to be, it'll be, but right now is not the right time. And that this person needs to awaken if they are going to build something long lasting with you. All right, let's see their current energy. Show me Leo's counterpart. So, Four of Wands, confirmation in reverse. Didn't I say that was about them? And I already told you what that card meant. Instability, a period of transition. We've got the Page of Cups in the resistance position. That's crazy. And what is on the floor? It's in reverse. It's the Two of Wands. Didn't I say they're at a crossroads? I said it. So there's delays here. They're being delayed. So even if you hope with all your hopiest hopes that they'll communicate, they're being blocked from communicating with you. This is not a situation of if they wanted to, they would. They are being blocked. The Two of Wands shows procrastination. Two of Wands in reverse shows procrastination. Remember when I talked about all the twos? That's really interesting to me because we have the Two of Wands and then we have the Page of Cups, which is technically an 11. But if you were looking at like numbers, this would be 1111. That's a lot of twos, two pairings. Then we have the Four of Wands. Anyway, they're at a crossroads, and I was seeing underneath Divinely Guided for you and how you're feeling about this connection. I saw the card about this person needs to choose to awaken or remain in the darkness. And that's kind of the point where they're at. They need to choose a path here. They need to awaken to their emotions. The fact that we have the Page of Cups in reverse, that's talking about like there's some wounded inner child stuff happening there with the Page of Cups in reverse. Two of Wands in reverse talks about procrastination and delays, not taking action, over analyzing, unexpected obstacles, obstacles in career, lack of control over finances, failed financial planning. This person is like going, it talks about going through a downfall. So right now it feels like, again, the universe is just putting wand after wand after wand on their back. And they're going to break, is what I'm hearing. There's a lot of pressure on them right now. Very interesting. That's a lot of confirmation about what we were channeling. Neglecting inner child, escapism, avoidance, insecurity, Page of Cups in reverse, emotionally immature, insecurity when it comes to romance, being afraid to share what they truly want, fearing failure, experiencing self-doubt, causing them to keep their plans under wrap. Sound familiar? Block due to perfectionism. Insecurity at work, avoiding financial decisions. Like this person, you're being protected from this person for sure. And this is leading to a breakthrough. I'm telling you, this is leading to a breakthrough. 10 of Swords, they're at rock bottom. They're at rock bottom. They're hitting rock bottom. And what do they say about rock bottom? When you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. And that's the truth. They're hitting rock bottom. And I know this is about a love connection, but like maybe your person has addictions, because I was just getting that example of, you know, an addict has to hit rock bottom before they will even think about changing. Very interesting. I didn't do this for you, but I want to see their near future energy. Their near future energy, your person's. So what is their near future energy? What energy are they transitioning into? Because they're going through this transition. What energy are they transitioning into? Near future. That's not good. This is near future, which would be in the next 4 weeks. Strength in reverse. Lack of confidence. Lack of inner strength. Acting from a place of ego. So the fact that right now they have all this self-doubt shows that that's not changing in the next 4 weeks. The Emperor in reverse, they're still in, for the next 4 weeks, they're still in wounded masculine energy. I'm going to have to pull more cards. Oh, that's not good. The Nine of Wands, defensive. So it's like they're trying to fight this awakening. So for the next 4 weeks, they're still fighting it. Two of Pentacles on the bottom. So they're kind of, remember how I said I saw that card, awaken or remain in the darkness? That's what's happening here. They're being pushed to awaken. Look at all the reversals they have. They're being pushed to awaken, and they're kind of going like back and forth. It's like they're starting to get the feeling that it's time to self-improve and it's time to change. But they're like going back and forth here in the next 4 weeks. Learning divine lessons. I'm gonna go, I've opened a can of worms now because now I'm curious. I didn't do this for any other sign, but I feel the need to keep digging here. I've opened a can of worms. Oh dear. Let's go the next 2 to 3 months. Their energy in the next 2 to 3 months. Wheel of Fortune. There's a shift in their energy in the next 2 to 3 months. This one could take a while. So they're making adjustments that turn these energies around. With the Wheel of Fortune, change. So they're changing things around. making adjustments so that these two energies turn around, which would be more stability and learning lessons. And then underneath the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Five of Cups, which shows them in remorse and feeling sad. And that's the heart opening. So it's going to take 2 to 3 months for this person's heart to open. And you saw it in the cards I pulled. It's coming, but it's like they're blocking it right now with their own stubbornness. I'm going to get one more. One more. 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months. The High Priestess wanted to come out. 6 of Wands. So they're feeling more confident. Interesting. That was on the bottom. I'm not going to take it. But the Eight of Swords shows them coming out of those self-limiting beliefs, coming out of that insecurity, freeing themselves, having a new perspective. Feeling ripped apart, vulnerable. So their heart is opening. 2 to 3 months. So you probably won't hear from this person until at least 2 to 3 months from now. But remember what that tree said. This will happen when it's meant to. And do you want this distorted masculine? No. Let's see how they're feeling about you. How are they feeling about you? We have the Star, which one of these was on 17. So they do want to overcome these obstacles here. They do want resolution with you. 5 of Wands in reverse. And they have a hope that you can overcome this. The Star, so they feel like this is a fated connection. They feel like they need to heal before they can come in for resolution. Hiding true feelings. Told you. Feeling insecure, fear of vulnerability. So they're afraid and they're hiding that they want resolution with you. And you could be shining like a star right now. Let's see one more for how they're feeling about you. We have the Awakening card. So they feel like you're surrendering this connection and you're focused on your own awakening. They could have watched you awaken. You know, they could have seen that you've changed throughout the course of this. Let's see how they're feeling about this connection. How are they feeling about this connection? That's interesting. So they already have a new perspective about this connection, but they're just, I feel like a lot of what's going on with them is external, affecting the internal. So your outside world reflects your inner world. So if this person's outside world is completely chaotic and they're going through hardships, it's reflecting onto their inner world, causing them to feel insecure. They already have a new perspective here. We also have the Magician for how they feel about this connection. So they're They're essentially manifesting you. They do have a new perspective. They want to take control of the situation and communicate with you, but they fear rejection. And we've got Seven of Pentacles, so they're waiting. They're waiting to come in towards you. Let's look at future potential now. Future potential. We have the Chariot. Forging ahead, coming out victorious. Page of Pentacles, fresh start. Fresh start, good news. It confirms the rider and it confirms that. So you do have an offer coming in the future. Page of Pentacles. It's good news. New chapter. The Chariot shows coming into alignment. Let's get another one. Future potential. Future potential. We have the Six of Cups, reunion. We have the Queen of Pentacles, abundance, confidence, period of stability. And you have reunion here. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. That's insane. Worth the effort, putting in the work. And the Eight of Pentacles is about commitment, and it's about a renewal, and it's about putting in effort. Six of Cups, reunion. And right now, for how they feel, they're waiting to come in with this. Seven of Pentacles. That's good. Let's get some channeled messages. Oh my goodness, that's on the bottom of the deck after the shuffle. My insecurities stop me from pursuing you. I am getting the help I need so that we can be together in a healthy way. Oh, no way. They have the Twin Flame card. I gotta take this. They have the Twin Flame card, and this card is coming out. Didn't I say they could have stumbled across what a soulmate is or what a twin flame is? So think about it. If this person has stumbled upon that and the information they're seeing is saying this journey is about healing, this journey is about healing, you know, unhealthy attachment styles, it's about this, it's about that. That could actually be helping your person. And look, I am ready to open up my heart. I don't think they're ready right now to open up their heart. But I spend so much time about them needing to open their heart in order to talk to you. So what does this person... That's on the top. I feel safer hiding and watching you from a distance. That way you are not close enough to hurt me. Protecting their heart space. Interesting. What does this person want to say to you? God brought you into my life for a reason. I'm trying to understand the purpose of our connection. I have never been able to express how much you truly mean to me due to past trauma. Page of Cups in reverse. Exactly. I am learning many spiritual lessons because of you. And they have the cross, this, which is about lessons. This journey has been a roller coaster. Yes, and you, Leo, got off the roller coaster and left them on it by themselves. Let's keep going. Two more. There they are. I have one in my lap as well. I pray for your forgiveness and hope you will return back to me. I want to show you I can be the person you can count on. And right now I feel like you're seeing this as a person you can't count on right now. I am planning on reaching out to explain why I went quiet, and I hope you are willing to listen. We are mirroring one another, and I am raising my vibration to match yours. That's exactly what I was talking about with you working on the root chakra and pulling them up by the red thread. That's exactly what I was talking about. And once you make the decision that this is the right person, the wrong time, I'm no longer playing games, I'm no longer accepting less than I deserve, I'm no longer lowering my vibrational energy to give to this, then energetically this person has no choice but to rise to meet you. Again, you're pulling them up energetically. So I'm going to leave it here, Leo, but I am sending you lots of love and light. Thank you for your patience, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.